Hey everyone, welcome back. We've got our Amonkhet full set review and we're going to my favourite colour, the black cards. So getting into black, going to be great. Joining me to get through some black is Anthony. How we
Yeah,
doing?
we'll get through it. We'll get through it.
Yeah, well, alright, I'll bring the excitement for black. I know you don't like him.
No, I can play black. I'm okay with black.
We kick things off with Bontu the Glorified, the crocodile head god. Very appropriate for the black god. 3 mana, 2 and a black for a 4/6 with menace and indestructible. And this guy, his restriction is he can't attack or block unless a creature died under your control this turn. To get you there, it's 1 and a black to sacrifice another creature. You get to scry 1, and each opponent loses 1 life. You gain 1 life. So yes, a couple of things. It's each opponent, so 2-headed giant. That's twice as good. You get 2 mana and you 2 life, sorry, and you gain 1 life.
Yep.
But this is probably the hardest one to activate as far as gods is concerned.
Yeah, that's brutal. Um, yeah, I don't like sacrificing creatures in general. I mean, you do it if you have to, but you usually want to get value out of them.
Yeah.
This is probably the best god for 2HG though. You just chuck all the tokens into this deck and just drain them real quick.
Yeah. I don't think this is going to get there too much in limited. The ability is okay, but turning it on is going to be really difficult.
And even when you do, it's just a 4/6 menace. I mean, that is good for 3 mana, but when you're paying a cost of a creature, that's
Yeah.
you know.
No, I think this is, if anything, this is more of the constructed going to an aristocrat style deck.
Yeah.
So you can get that with hidden stockpile and a lot of different creatures, and you can start to sacrifice things off. So I can see
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Maybe in the zombie deck, where you have zombies that can come back. That'd be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But no, if anything, the most interesting is the flavor. The crocodile is the guardian of one of the underworld. Not exactly the guardian, but is very much a figure of the underworld in Egyptian mythology. So
Okay.
very
I didn't know
appropriate. Yeah, I've got a couple of little Egyptology things in black that's pretty interesting.
Cool. How does the thingy look? The invocation.
I really love this invocation. The
Wow.
art, well, the art at least. I think that the art on this invocation is really nice. So we have Bontu the Glorified, very pretty
Yeah.
art there. So
Cool.
if I'm opening an invocation, I hope it's this one, or Force
Okay.
of Will.
Yeah, Force of Will. I'll take Force of Will, but
But if not Force of Will, Bontu.
sure.
Alright, next up we have what is, I believe, our release promo. So we've got the 2 different arts there. Archfiend of Ifnir. It is a 5 mana 5/4 flying demon, and whenever you cycle or discard another card, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature your opponents control. Each one.
That's crazy.
This is
That
huge.
is so crazy.
And if that
Um,
wasn't good enough, you could also cycle
you're never cycling this,
it.
but yeah, but yes, if that wasn't good enough, this card is ridiculous.
It's magnificent.
Absolutely
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Put
Yeah.
this in your Drakehaven deck.
Yeah. Sure.
As you're cycling, just killing off your opponent's creatures. I think this is beautiful.
Yeah. You got to remember with this thing that it's all at instant speed cycling. This guy's just huge. The artwork's really sick. I don't like the buy. Is it the release promo? I don't really like the artwork for that one.
It's release or
But
buy box, I'm not sure. It doesn't have a
yeah.
date on it, so it's probably buy box.
Okay. But the regular one is pretty good.
Yeah. No, it's neat, and I guess this is possibly a good reanimation target for New Liliana. I kind of like this, because you can cycle it to throw it into your graveyard, and then you can reanimate it back, so...
Yeah, and the good thing about that, I guess you would do it on turn 5, but if you were able to reanimate and then start cycling stuff straight away,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be
Neat
pretty
card.
cool.
Alright,
Really
so great card, great limited bomb as well, just pick and play it in limited, and maybe you might see this guy in standard in some of the more
Yeah.
fun decks.
I'm really liking how in each of the 3 colors so far, we've seen a really good angel, a really good sphinx, and a really good demon. I really like that, like the big, rare, bomby sort of creatures. They're in the iconic sort of tribe or whatever, creature type.
Hopefully
That's really good.
we get to see some good dragons and things in our red set later on.
Yeah, there's a good dragon.
Alright, next up, the Baleful Ammit. So this is a 2 and a black for a 4/3, so with lifelink, which is huge. It's a crocodile demon. and the reason it's so big is when it enters, you need to put a neg 1 counter on a creature you control. Before we get into the playability cards, this is one of the Egyptology points. An Ammit is an actual thing. That's not a word that they've made up. This is what an Ammit is. It's a combination of a crocodile, a lion, and a hippopotamus. And the Egypt myth here is that when you die, your heart gets weighed against a feather, and if it's found to be unworthy, this creature eats your heart in the
Right.
Yeah, so that's where they got that from. This is where they've actually... They didn't make this up.
Well, they did make it up.
Well,
but yeah,
wizards didn't make this up.
Egyptians,
ancient Egyptians made this up.
Yeah. That is freaky.
So is this a playable card, though?
Oh, the card's awesome. I'm putting my counter somewhere else. Yeah, this card's really good. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, this is just going to win the races. Like 4/3 with lifelink. So big, so powerful for 3 mana.
Yep.
If you have that white priest that reduces counters as well, this just is free.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, great card. Pick this up if you're in black or if you want to be in black.
Yeah, this is a good card.
Next up.
I kind of like this card too. Blighted Bat, 2 and a black for a 2/1 zombie bat. It's got flying and an ability 1. And it gains haste until end of turn. So this is kind of one of those cool cards that help you determine when you should cast your spells. So if you've got 2 3-drops in your hand, you cast your other one and then you cast this one and give it haste next turn. Yeah, I like this card quite a bit.
I think it's a little bit too small. 3 mana 2/1 flyer is fine. It's reasonable stats, but I don't really want to have a lot of these.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something about it for an aggressive deck. I don't know how many X1 or 1 powered flyers there are. There might be some token makers, but I don't think there are. I just think this is going to be the same as a 2/2 or not a 2/3, but effectively a 2/2. It can't block small things on the ground, but you don't want to anyway.
Yeah, it seems fine. It's a zombie, which is a relevant tribe in this set, so maybe
good point.
Relevant. Alright, what else? So decent creature.
Yep.
Another flyer. What do you think of this one?
Oh, this one's really good. Bone Picker, 3 and a black. I like the name. I couldn't put Vulture, I guess, but it's for a 3/2 bird with flying and death touch, and it can cost 3 less to cast if a creature died this turn, which is silly, really. You can set up a really big turn with this and another creature after combat. This card's really good. It's got a Vampire Nighthawk feel of it. You're not going to be able to trade off with or stop opponents attacking with small things, but you'll race in the air, and if they happen to get ahead in the race, you can trade with their biggest thing. This card's very good.
Oh, that's great. Even if you're paying retail for this at 4 mana for a 3/2 flying death touch, that's perfectly reasonable. But every now and then you get this huge discount of just playing it for a black. It's just going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be part of maybe one of those really good curve out games where they just overwhelm you because you've traded off trying to stabilize, and then they just slam 2 creatures down the next turn.
This one really reminds me of one of the cards from Khans of Tarkir. I've forgotten the name, but it was a 4/4 flyer with Delve, where you could just delve away your graveyard and play 2 creatures in the one turn. So
yeah,
it's really powerful ability. Alright, next we have our Cartouche. This is a Cartouche of Ambition. It's 3 mana, so it's a fairly expensive Cartouche, but when it enters you put a neg 1 counter on a creature, and your creature gets +1/+1 and lifelink. I don't like this as far as the Cartouches go. I think the white and the blue that we've seen so far are probably better.
Yes. I really like lifelink in limited. Probably more than most people. I just like what it does in a race, and the fact that this can pick something off. I don't know. I see this as a sideboard card that you'll bring in if you see a bunch of X1s that will have, I think, a big impact when it goes unchecked.
I think if you get the synergies as well, I think there's quite a few synergies with neg 1 counters, so I can certainly see in black decks, this is probably better than I expect it to be on the face. So if it's working with other things in your deck, I could see it being better.
I just think usually -1/-1 cards, they usually sit in the board. So that's, I guess, how I'm judging this card.
It being
but
a
yeah.
counter is kind of important. It's not just -1/-1 until end of turn, which is the more common ability, where this is permanently shrinks that thing.
Yeah, but you wouldn't pay a card for that.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have some sweet trials as well, you want to have this in your deck.
There's, I guess, certain things that if it all comes together, you'll put it in.
Let's move along. Another story spotlight card.
Brutal. Cruel Reality. 5 black for an enchantment or a curse. Curses are back. It enchants a player, as most curses do. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, that player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. If that player can't, he or she loses 5 life.
This is a big effect for a lot of mana.
Yeah.
Which is basically a mythic. Like it's worthy of it being a mythic.
Yeah. I'm just trying to sort of gauge. Would you play this in limited?
I'm going to lean on no. I mean, it's an abyss, which is nice, but to 7 mana, it is going to take too long.
Yeah.
Maybe in sealed.
Yeah, maybe in sealed, but even then, yeah, you'd want the game to be going a long time. I'm not picking this early.
No.
Yeah.
I guess this is interesting. There's some weird interactions you can do in casual formats with Bitterheart Witch. Bitterheart Witch is search for a curse and just put it into play when it dies. So there's a neat little interaction from old Innistrad.
Yep.
And also, how strong are those guys in the background? That's Gideon
they're
holding back.
Yeah. Well, this is when he goes, because Gideon's trying to do all the trials, and now he's gotten to the black one, and I think this is the point where he realizes that it's not as noble or whatever as it seemed to be.
Yeah, he had his faith renewed in the previous story spotlight, and now he's starting to learn that Amonkhet isn't all it's cracked up to be, and there's some evil going on here.
Well, not necessarily. Oh yeah, I guess it is kind of evil, isn't it?
Well, he's murdering his crop mate.
Yeah, because he's ambitious. The trial of ambition. Yeah, I think story-wise, this is pretty cool.
Alright, let's see what's next. So we have Accursed Minotaur. Minotaurs are back. When did we see them last?
Yeah.
Theros. Since Theros we saw Minotaurs. 2 and a black for a zombie Minotaur. This is a 3/2 with Menace. Good card, and we've seen recently Menace is a pretty powerful ability.
Yeah, so the toughness doesn't matter all that much with Menace, I guess, because usually you can work out a way to get their better creature out of it. If it was the 3/3, it'd be pretty much exactly the same card.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to block with this most of the time, so the toughness is not going to matter. But yeah, I like Menace, and there's a very small Minotaur sub-theme going on in red-black. Probably not going to see that in limited. But
Yeah. There's a legendary creature that does some work.
So cool card. You should fill that in for your black decks and creatures when you need them.
Yeah, filler.
Dispossess. This is a weird card. Not playing it in limited.
Yeah, another rare I'm not going to be too happy to open. 2 and a black for a sorcery. Choose an artifact card name. Search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the chosen name and exile them. Then that player shuffles his or her library. Not really what you want.
So basically that says choose a Heart of Kieran and exile all your opponent's Heart of Kieran or Scrap Heap Scrounger. And that's pretty much the only thing I can see this being used for.
Yeah, they should have just made it 1 mana.
It would be ridiculous at 1 mana.
Would it?
Absolutely, it would hose decks.
So?
I would be happy with that, personally, because I don't play Mardu vehicles, but 90% of the standard format players would be very annoyed because their Scrap Heap Scroungers and Hearts of Kieran are going away.
Yeah, I don't know. You still have to draw it and play it. And then it's really bad against other decks. So playing 4 in the main would be really bad.
Just oh,
I don't know.
no, it goes in the sideboard. But I mean, think of James Bison. Those affinity players are going to be devastated at 1 black. See you later, your artifacts. Get rid of your cranial platings. Get rid of your Arcbound Ravagers. That would be way too powerful.
For modern, are you kidding me? They've got Rest in Peace for the Dredge deck.
That's 2 mana.
Okay, 2 mana then. Make it 2 mana.
That's a little bit more reasonable than 1 mana. It's like a super thought.
But that hoses a whole deck. This just takes 1 card.
Yeah, but it's a super Thoughtseize at just black.
Yeah, I suppose.
We're talking too much about a card that really doesn't matter for limited or standard.
Yeah,
so
no.
let's just move on to Doom Dissenter, which is a little bit
Another card that doesn't really matter for limited or standard. No, this card is not very good. 1/1
okay.
and it becomes a 2/2.
Well, it's a Doom Traveler. And Doom Traveler was decent. I mean, it gave me a better flyer, but this is a 2/2 black zombie. I would probably put this into fill space.
No, I wouldn't be happy about it.
No, I'm not happy about it, but it's
I
okay.
don't like this card very much.
Alright, we'll keep moving along to Dread Wanderer, which is a relevant card for some things. It's a zombie jackal, 1 black for a 2/1. It enters the battlefield tapped, but that doesn't really matter on turn 1. And for 2 and a black, you can return it from your graveyard to the battlefield anytime you could cast a sorcery and you have 1 or fewer cards in hand. So it's one of those annoying sort of like graveyard recursion cards that has a bit of a restriction.
Yeah. But it's only a 2/1. It's not a 3/2. You know. I like this card quite a bit. It's not really my style, but I can see that it's powerful, and you'll play it in black decks.
Yeah.
A good thing is it can block. Usually these type of things can't block. I mean, I know it enters the battlefield tapped, but you can, every second turn, have a chump blocker if you need it.
Yeah. This is going to be a big player. If Zombie Tribal gets through in standard, or even as like a tier 2 standard deck, this is going to be a big player in that deck.
Yeah.
Mostly because there are some other things that want to put counters on it. Neg1 counters.
Mm.
The Dune Beetle, it is a 2 mana 1/4. It blocks things.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
It blocks the guy we just passed.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, again, if you need a wall, you play this the same way you play Ancient Crab.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's better than Ancient Crab, but
A little bit, yeah. About Faith of the Devoted. What do you hear?
2 and a black for an enchantment. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, you may pay 1. If you do, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Ooh.
This goes right next to your Drakehaven.
Yes, but this is really brutal in 2HG. Drain for 2 for 1. That's huge. That's 4 for every time you cycle.
Yeah, I can
Like,
see that.
2H 2HG is just going to be full of decks with this card in it.
Yeah.
They're going to play all of them. They're going to put all their cyclers into it.
Yeah, I can definitely see myself making that deck. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah, no, I can see this being a limited sort of build around card, and you could definitely get some value out of this.
Yeah, definitely good. Yeah.
All right, let's keep rolling. The Festering Mummy.
1 mana for a 1/1 zombie. When Festering Mummy dies, you may put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. We've seen this before, haven't we?
Kind of. We've seen similar things like Festering Goblin and a couple of other iterations where when it dies, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. So this is kind of an upgrade to that.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
It still kills X2s all day, so I don't mind putting it in my deck.
Yep.
And that debuff is permanent, so you can sort of build it up over time.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of like this one.
Yeah, so neat little card. I think you don't have to pick it early, but definitely would include in most black decks.
Yep.
Final Reward is our premium removal black spell. So this is the card you want to pick reasonably early. It's expensive, so you don't want a lot of them. It's 5 mana for an instant exile target creature. Exile is super important because you can't embalm. But
Yeah.
This is Tidy
This is
Conclusion.
premium?
This is that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Doomblade, but it's those cards that we've had. This is your Daring Demolition. This is
yeah. You're gonna play this every time.
it's even splashable because it's only one black.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very good. It's just there's only so many fives you can really play.
True.
So playing three of these might not be a good idea.
No, unfortunately, it is so expensive. But you do definitely want a couple of them if you can get them.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, obviously a good card, deals with anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Exile being is really genuinely important because of all the embalm that's running around. You just want to get it gone.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Our good friend Gravedigger.
I love this guy. 3 and a black for a 2/2 zombie, and when he enters the battlefield, you may return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. I love this card, and I take it really highly. It's an uncommon now, which is sad, but card's very, very good.
Some of the most fun I've had is with Modern Masters Draft and looping Gravedigger effects.
Yeah.
If you get two of these going at the same time, you just chump block, play the next one, return it, play it. It just cycle forever. You've got endless chump blocker.
Yeah. Yeah, Gravedigger is just a really good card. I would take it really highly. It's just value.
Yeah, I mean, we've recently seen Restoration Gearsmith, which was the gold uncommon in Kaladesh,
Yeah.
which had a similar effect, and that was easily good. This is better than that because it's only one color, so definitely pick and play your Gravediggers.
Yeah, and that was splashable too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The Grim Strider. So this is a bit weird. This is kind of like Death Shadow, but for cards in your hand. There's a 4-mana 6/6 horror. And it gets neg 1 for each card in your hand. So you get down to low number of cards, and black has a few ways to discard cards, black and red. So you can get a 6/6 sometimes.
Yeah, so this is one of those ones that fluctuates a little bit. You got to be careful when you're drawing a bunch of cards. It's really a non-bow with the blue god.
Yeah, don't play this in black-blue decks. You play this in black-red decks.
Yeah, but it can be really aggressive and can really pack a punch. And this could be one of those cards that's a must-kill for your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good card.
Excuse me. I'm just waiting for the time when you get to you've only got a couple of cards in hand, and you put a combat trick on this, so it not only gets +1/+1 from just getting rid of a card, but it gets even bigger again because you've played a combat trick or something like that at instant speed. So
Math.
there's some real tricks you can do with this sort of an effect if your opponent isn't completely awake at midnight.
Yeah. This is going to cause some headaches. Yep.
Alright, so we've got a Cycler, Horror of the Broken Lands.
Really weird looking.
Yeah.
Horror of the Broken Lands is 4 and a black for a 4/4 horror. Whenever you cycle or discard another card, so not this, Horror of the Broken Lands get +2/+1 until end of turn. Which, okay, so yeah. So it becomes a 6/5. That is huge.
Yeah, it's a big one, and it joins our list of common big creature cyclers, so you can get rid of it early if you don't need it, or you can just play this dude later in the game.
Yeah. Yep. They always end up being better than they look. The ones with cycling, just because, it gives you versatility. So, yeah, I'm going to be happy to put this in my deck. Yeah.
We like having options. So, Lay Bare the Heart. So this is a bit weird. This is a sorcery. It's 1 black, and it's almost a Thoughtseize. So you target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-legendary, non-land card. So not Heart of Kiran. That play discards that card.
Can't do Heart of Kiran. What's the point? It's got a heart there, and you can't take Heart of Kiran. That is just stupid.
Yeah, terrible flavor.
Lay Bare the Heart. So you can look at it, but you can't take it. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Don't play this in limited. I don't think you just don't want to play it in limited.
Yeah, I've seen it played, and I've never played, like, I don't play discard spells in limited, but this, if your opponent's got a bomb and you can't deal with it, it might be worth going for it with this, but it's so risky because they've got to have it in hand, and you just don't know when they have it. But yeah,
This is a terrible late game card as well. When you're both
This
in top deck
targeted
mode.
discard, I'm not a fan of usually.
No. Not loving it. Do not want to play this unless I really absolutely have no other choice, and I'm not sure when that's going to be.
Yeah, yeah. Fair enough. I'm not a fan.
All right, let's have a look at Big Lily.
Lily. She's so good. Liliana Death's Majesty, 3 black for a 5 loyalty Liliana Planeswalker. First ability, +1, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. That's excellent.
Yep, good. Protecting herself.
Really, really good. And filling your graveyard for your second ability, which is -3, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. That creature is a black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. So zombify. And that's also a really good ability for minus. And -7, which is only a couple of turns after you play her, is destroy all non-zombie creatures. She's so good.
Yeah,
she's just
fun.
Yeah, she's busted in limited. I mean, most Planeswalkers are, but she is so good in limited.
Yeah.
In constructed, what do you think?
5 mana is too much at the moment. Again, I think a lot of these these really cool cards are going to have to wait for rotation. We need to get rid of some of the power in the Mardu Vehicles decks and the green-black aggressive decks, because this is not going to be fast enough. But I have been doing some brewing, some thinking about this in green-black, where you have your Grapple with the Past and your Vessel of Nascency that you can use to fill up your graveyard. You've got green ramp creatures, so you can get this out on turn 4 a little bit earlier. And you've got ways to chuck stuff into your graveyard, like the Archfiend of Ifnif that throws itself in the graveyard.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to get your Ulamogs or something like that, which would go away with rotation. But we'll find something big to put in the graveyard and reanimate.
Yeah. But Ulamog's not going yet, right?
No, he doesn't go yet. So as I said, as long as you're not trying to play tier 1, if you're not playing up against a lot of aggressive decks, then you can play this in a bit sort of more F&M, bit of fun, sort of second tier standard deck.
Yeah, I really like this card. I'm a huge fan, and the artwork is amazing.
Yeah, that's life goals right there. Just sitting, chilling, being fanned and served by zombies.
Yeah. She belongs on this plane.
Really cool card. So that's Liliana's Death Majesty. That's definitely a card I want to be opening.
Yep.
Liliana also has some mastery. She is the Zombie Lord herself. So 3 black for an enchantment. Zombies get +1/+1. And when it enters the battlefield, create 2 black zombie creature tokens. So on its own, it creates 6 power for 5 mana, which is pretty good. Because it gets 2 3/3s into play, effectively.
Yeah.
And all your other zombies get a buff, so I could probably see playing this in limited.
Yeah, I think this is really good in limited. Even if you don't have any other zombies, like this is serviceable by itself.
If you're playing black, you should have some zombies, because there are a lot of zombie creatures in black.
Yeah, and in black-white, or even black-blue with Embalm, you will be looking pretty happy playing this card.
Yeah, really cool little card.
Yeah, I really like it. First pick, take it. Yep.
And another zombie lord, so we have an enchantment lord, or we have this one.
Yeah.
This is Lord of the Accursed, 2 and a black for a zombie, uncommon. As a lord, it gives other zombies +1/+1. It's a 2/3, by the way, and it has 1 and a black to tap. All zombies gain menace until end of turn. That's a big ability.
Yeah, that makes it really hard for your opponents to block. This is going to be brutal in limited, I think. And it's uncommon. It's not even a rare.
Yep.
Wow.
Sweet. Yeah, I think this is going to do some good work in limited. Just on its own, it's fine as a 2/3 for 3. And then, your other zombies just getting all these buffs.
Yeah, I like how it looks like the zombies in the city are white and the zombies out in the wilderness are black. So that's kind of cool. And this is obviously Lord of the black ones, so the white ones get a buff too. So yeah, this is a really good card. I'll be picking this highly, definitely.
Yeah. Are you picking this and then picking zombies, or are you picking zombies and then picking this? Like, what's the order, do you think?
This, then zombies.
Yeah, fair.
Because, I mean, you just pick the good cards if you don't have this.
Yep. And
And
then
then
this
yeah,
puts you into a zombie, so you're valuing it a
yeah,
lot higher.
yeah. If I pick this early, which I will, then I'll be looking for zombies as a type, and it will notch them up a bit more in my pick order.
Yeah, that makes sense. Awesome. So we have next buffs this guy.
Miasmic Mummy, 1 and a black for a 2/2 zombie jackal. When Miasmic Mummy enters the battlefield, each player discards a card.
So yeah, trying to help you get your low hand count online if you're in that sort of a deck,
Yeah,
and also just a bear.
I like it.
Yeah, decent card, especially if you're in zombies. But even if you're not, probably play it as a bear.
Yep, definitely. I like this card.
Alright. So here we have
Oh.
a nest of scarabs. Does not look like that guy's having
2 and a black. Yeah, no, I don't think he's long for this world. 2 and a black for an enchantment. Whenever you put one or more -1/-1 counters on a creature, create that many 1/1 black insect creature tokens. So when things get festy, they come and eat it.
Yeah.
I don't really like this card.
This one's tricky. There are ways, a lot of ways to get neg1 counters on lots of things. I don't mind getting black insects for free for that, but I think this is kind of like efficient construction from Kaladesh, which is an enchantment whenever you played an artifact you got a 1/1 Thopter. It just doesn't do enough fast enough.
Yeah, I guess if you've got enough of those synergies, then it'll be worth it, but it just does so little on its own. You really just have to build around it. If you build around it, I imagine it'll be serviceable. Yeah.
There are a couple of cards that put neg1 counters on things. Even put put 2 across 2 different creatures. You get 2 insects. So I can see it getting a little bit into those decks, but it's going to be tricky to build.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you're take it, yeah.
So we're going to go into painful lessons.
The etchings in the hands. 2 and a black for a sorcery. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. So, yeah, we've seen this before. Yeah. It's fine card. Nothing exciting. Notice you can hit your opponent. So if they're on 2, you can kill them with this.
Mm-hmm. If they're not on 2, don't give them 2 cards. Just to try and get them on lower.
Yeah. Make sure this is the last bit of damage you do.
Yeah, this is nice. This is Sign in Blood, but a little bit easier to cast.
Yeah.
So yeah,
fine card.
Play it in black decks. It's fine.
Yeah.
Alright, we have the Pitiless Vizier. So this is another Minotaur. It's a Minotaur Cleric. There's some weird stuff going on there. 3 and a black for a 4/2, and whenever you cycle or discard a card, it gains indestructible until end of turn.
Every time I look at this for the first time, the head looks like it's upside down.
It takes
I don't
a little
know
while
why.
to put it together.
Yeah, I have to adjust it, my gaze. 4/2. Sorry, I wasn't even paying attention. It just caught me off. 4/2. This card is This is a scary card to play against.
Yeah, I mean, if your opponent has mana up for cycling, it's going to be concerning. Because can you block it? Can you attack into it? Who knows? It's going to be able to kill off a lot of things if it becomes indestructible.
Yeah.
So yeah, just be very wary playing against this. I think it's decent, but I don't think I want a lot of them.
Yeah, I agree. It's just one of those cards, isn't it? 4/2 is usually not good stats, not something you'd put in your deck, but just the upside on this and the mind games you can play with this. Yeah.
I think you need to be able to reliably cycle pretty often. Like you need a few, and we can see there's a lot of ways to do that. But...
Yeah. So I think this will be all right.
Okay. Next we have the Plague Belcher. This is going in your zombie standard deck.
In standard, it's only 3 mana for a 5/4. When it enters the battlefield, put 2 -1/-1 counters on target creature you control. Okay. Whenever another zombie you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life.
Yep. So you're just jamming this with the zombie jackal, the 1-mana zombie jackal we saw before. Chuck the counters on that, you get a 5/4, and you bring him back later on. Oh, and kill your opponent for 1. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I like this. And
3 mana 5/4. Wow.
I mean, it's a 3 mana 3/2 if you don't with Menace, which is serviceable if you don't have anything else to put the counters on.
just wait a turn, play something else, and then
Yeah, find something else to kill. A token or something.
yeah, it might make that 1/1 that when it dies get a 2/2. That's a good curve out.
Yeah, definitely. So very nice rare, and if you have it, find some other things to kill with it if you can.
Yeah.
Looks like an elephant originally. It's got some tusks going on there.
Yeah. This is a good aggressive card. Yeah.
Alright, so next up we have a Ruthless Sniper. So this has got the similar ability to the Archfiend, where if you cycle or discard a card, you may pay 1 and put a 1/1 counter on a creature. And yeah, 1 mana for a 1/2.
That's pretty good. The body obviously isn't very good, but the ability is.
Yeah. Especially if you're in that cycling or discard deck. We've seen the miasmic zombie recently, which when it enters, you discard a card, so you're getting to pay 1 and get your counters that way. There's lots of ways to discard cards in this one.
Yeah, it looks like there's a blue-black cycling theme here that's pretty well supported, and I'm looking forward to playing that deck.
A lot of fun there. Ruthless Sniper, so pretty good card. Make sure you can support it though. Don't just play this as a 1/2 for 1, unless you can cycle and discard it frequently.
But can you just imagine, like, as having a 2/2, you can't really attack into this if the other player has a mana up. You just can't.
You can't really attack into it. But I would, to be honest. If my opponent has mana up, I'd be attacking into it and make them show me that they can do it first.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine, but it's
I'm not putting this in my
I probably
decks
would
unless
too,
I can do it. Like, I'm not going to just go for the bluff value because too many people are going to call that bluff.
Yeah. I know, but you're going to get them a lot of the time, I reckon. If you're on, say, turn 3 or something, and then you have mana up, something's going on. Yeah. But anyway, let's continue.
All right. Scarab Feast, so we, not too bad. This is a nice little surgical hate card for Standard. Probably not playing it in Limited. It's just 1 black to exile 3 cards from a graveyard, and you can cycle it for black.
Yeah, I'm only thinking about Limited at the moment, but this would be a decent sideboard card if your opponent's trying to fill up their graveyard to bring stuff back and do some funny stuff with.
If your opponent's on the blue-white Embalm theme, then you might want to side this in. Just pick off all their Embalm things.
Yeah, and I mean the benefit of that is that if it works out that you don't need it, then you can cycle it away. That's the beauty. That's why I really like these sort of narrow cards that you can just chuck in your sideboard that you can bring in, but if you happen to not need it that game, you can just draw a card off it. So yeah.
Another one I wouldn't mind putting into HG to try and get some value out again. Because you don't get to sideboard.
Yeah, especially if you've got a bunch of cycling themes as well. Like, drain them each for 2 and then cycle this. And seems just really good.
We have Shadow of the Graves. This is a rare, and this is really going to bump your cycling theme up. It's instant. Return to your hand all cards in your graveyard that you cycled or discarded this turn.
That's cool.
So 2 bit of cycling or discarding, and then bring it all back.
You'd have to have a lot of mana, though.
Yes, most likely.
Yeah, to get good value off this.
So I don't think in Limited unless you're really dedicated to your cycling and discarding theme.
Yeah. And even then, you're probably getting enough value off doing that you don't need. But you never know.
The fun I'd like to have is this in some kind of a casual, like EDH discard themed deck where you're making everyone discard and doing something like Wheel of Fortune and then this.
Yeah, I'm glad Aaron's not here for this because he has a Waste Not deck that everyone hates.
Yeah, there's the Black Myogen would be terrible. It's just everyone discard their hand and then you get yours back sort of thing. It's pretty brutal stuff.
Yeah. Okay, yep.
So yeah, not really something you want in Limited though, so avoid that one.
Yep.
Soul Stinger, this one is strange.
3 and a blue for a 4/5 Scorpion Demon. Cool creature type. When Soul Stinger enters the battlefield, put 2 -1/-1 counters on target creature you control. When it dies, you may put a -1/-1 counter on target creature for each -1/-1 counter on Soul Stinger. That seems good to me.
Yeah. So it's a bit strange because you either want to put the counters somewhere else so that you get a 4/5, or you use this to put all your other counters on. So you play one of like your zombie beast and you kill this with counters,
And then it kills
and then
something
it
else.
kills something else. So you got some options, some decisions there.
Yeah, I mean, even just on its own, it's a 2/3 that can trade with 4 toughness creatures. Yeah, I think this is a fine card. And it just goes into those decks really well with the -1/-1 counter themes.
I like having playable 4-drops as well, because you often have a lot of good 3s and a lot of good 5s, but not as much in the 4, so I like having this sort of a card to fill that gap.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
some Splendid Agony. So this is a sort of black situational removal. Distribute 2 -1/-1 counters among 1 or 2 target creatures. So you get to either hit one thing for -2, -2, or 2 things for -1, -1. Which is, I mean, it's kind of
expensive, but oh yeah, it's great in combat.
yeah. So this is kind of like Cruel Finality from Kaladesh.
Yeah, that underperformed
which was,
though, I think.
Which was okay, like you'd play it if you needed removal. This one has extra
Yeah.
synergies with -1, -1 counters.
Yeah. I think you're doing it for the synergy. With this one, I think. I mean, you're always going to play these kind of cards, but they always seem to be worse than you think. However, I think this. Having said all that, people are going along because they're counters and they stay there. So. Yeah.
So even if it doesn't outright kill something, it can shrink something or make it. It can really neuter it, so it's not relevant for all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, not a bad black removal spell overall.
Yeah, not horrible.
Stir the Sands is again another part of our cycling cycle. This is create 3 black zombie creature tokens for 6 mana, which is okay. There's 6 power, 6 toughness for 6 mana. Or you can cycle it for 4, where you get to draw a card and create 1 2/2 black zombie creature token.
I really like this card. I think this is really good. 3 bodies for 6 power. Just really powerful.
Yeah.
I'll be taking this highly. And yeah, I'll be happy to cycle this as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty fine card. Being able to do that instant speed, so you can kind of ambush. You get a creature at instant. This is pretty good. If you want to ambush a 2/2 or something and draw a card.
Yeah. What's going on in the background there? What's that? Is that the... It looks like it's got googly eyes or...
It's a really strange thing in the... I don't know what that is going on. That must be the 3rd zombie. Because you got 2 zombies in the foreground. That must be the 3rd zombie, but it's... Yeah. I don't want to meet that in a dark alley.
Yeah.
Weird stuff. This is an incredible combat trick.
Okay, I don't think I've seen this one. Supernatural Stamina. Black for 1 black for an instant. Until end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Seems good.
Yeah, I mean, if you can resolve this on your creature, it's just going to kill something and then come back.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the indestructible one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for 1 mana, this is really good.
Yeah, I think the 1 mana combat tricks are great because it's so easy to hold up. And you rebuying into the battlefield abilities or dies abilities for free, you get the card back. So I think it's probably better than the indestructible one a lot of the time because of that. Enters the battlefield or leaves the battlefield abilities.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, just be very worried if your opponent has 1 black up.
Well, what do you do? Do you never block?
you probably just have to go in and make them use it, but try and find a way to play around it if you can. If you can't, you just got to pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But yeah, good card. I'm going to pick up and play those. The Trespasser's Curse. I've read this a couple of times, and I'm not sure what to make of it, whether I want to play it or not. So it's 1 black for an enchant or a curse. You enchant a player as with your curses, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield under their control, they lose a life and you gain a life.
Yeah, this is one of those weird ones. It's good if you play it on turn 2, but afterwards, not so much. This effect's been on creatures before, and people have played them, and this is less of a like this ability is going to stick around more reliably than if it was on a creature. Problem is, late in the game, this is so bad.
Really is.
Um, I would lean against not playing this.
Yep. I would say I
Yeah.
think Rebecca's probably scared of this card because she loves to play Soul Sisters. So if you side this in against Soul Sisters, they're not going to be real happy.
Well, they're not going to gain any life. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't think I want to play this in limited, but I might try it out. If I get multiples, that could be fun. Like put 3 or 4 of these on someone, and
Yeah, but even then, they'll just beat you down with the creatures they put on in play.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
most likely.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it will get to a point where they can't play a creature, but you're then on catch-up duty.
Yeah, I don't think this is a good card, so I think probably avoid this for the most part.
Yeah.
The Trial of Ambition. So this is just basically an edict, and edicts are okay. They say destroy your opponent's worst creature. A 1 black for an enchantment. Target opponent sacrifices a creature. The benefit is if you have cartouches, you can get this back and replay it. So it's a edict with upside.
Yeah, this is definitely the one you want to be replaying over and over again. It's cheap, it's a fine ability, and yeah, just this is good.
Yeah, I mean, you usually want to play edicts in limited. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
I suppose
they're
so.
adequate removal.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
So yeah,
As long as you know what you're getting when you play it, you got to know that you're not getting their best creature.
Yeah.
And in a world of tokens, it's not very good, but I don't think we're quite there.
I haven't seen a lot of tokens. Haven't seen a lot of value for sacrificing creatures and that sort of thing. So you're probably fine to play this most of the time.
Yep.
All right, take this one off my hands.
Unburden, 1 black. Sorcery, target player discards 2 cards, and you can cycle it. I'm a big fan of this card.
So better than Mind Rot, other than the fact that it's harder to cast.
Yeah.
It's,
You got to take that into account. It is double black. That means something. But you usually use your mind rots later than turn 3 anyway, because you want to get their last 2 cards.
Yeah.
So, and if you actually, I think I would main this.
Yeah.
Because getting their last 2 cards on time is absolutely devastating. But when this is really bad is when they're top decking, and you can just cycle it.
Yep.
I'm actually. This just takes away all the downside of the card by putting cycling on it. I'm gonna play this main deck in most black decks.
Yeah, absolutely. And the question I would ask, what is the downside of Mind Rot, is when they don't have cards in hand, and this one gets around that. You just like, I'll cycle it, get something else. So I could see this getting in as a couple, particularly because you've got cycling bonuses in synergies. Like, this is a decent card. I'm gonna play it.
Yep. Good card.
Wander in Death. So there's 2 and a black for a sorcery. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. It's fine, get a couple of dudes back. Or you can cycle it. So again, not too bad.
Again, like the cycling again takes away the downside. You want to play this really late in the game, but if you get this in the mid game where it's not going to be doing what you want, you just cycle it.
Granted, I think from everything I've seen, there's going to be enough other cards playable. So I think if I'm short of playables, I'm probably playing this. But this is going to get cut more often than not, I feel.
I don't know. It's card advantage. It really depends on. I think it depends on the makeup of your deck and what you're trying to do. But I'm usually happy to play one of these cards in my black decks.
Yeah, they always make my list when I'm laying out my deck, but it's often also the kind of card that I cut pretty often.
Fair enough.
Alright, Wasteland Scorpion. So this is a 3 mana bear with Death Touch and cycling.
Because why not? Why not
Yeah,
cycle?
yeah.
This card's good. I'm always going to be running this. I don't think I'll ever cut one. So yeah.
Yeah, Death Touch is a great ability, and if you absolutely have to cycle it because they don't have something giant you want to block, or they're flying, then yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
And our last one is Never to Return. We have Never, which is a 1 black sorcery, destroy target creature or planeswalker. So it's sort of the Ruin. Oh, it's the black card from Battle of Zendikar that I'm blanking on. No, it does.
Battle. Yeah.
It's
It's
Sorcery Speed Hero's Downfall, which is sort of
yeah.
terrible. It hasn't seen play, unfortunately. And the return half, 3 and a black, exile target card from a graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Fine limited removal. It just destroys a thing, and you get to get a 2/2 black zombie on the back card.
Yep. Yeah, this is a fine card. You'll always play this card, and you'll be really happy about it. And I don't see any downside in terms of a limited. Unfortunately, just not being instant on the Never side is just it just makes it unviable.
No, I mean,
Unfortunately.
the Aftermath half and the Planeswalk half, I don't think makes it good enough when we've got in a world of Murder. Like, Murder being instant is just going to be better,
Yeah.
even though this has extra utility.
Yeah. I'm again distracted by the
The
style of the
sidewaysness.
card. But also on this one, never to return is it is returning though. So it's like a flavor fail in itself.
Well, the creature that gets destroyed is never to return. I think that's the point, because you destroy that scrap heap scrounger and then you exile it if
But
they haven't brought it back already.
But isn't the artwork meant to be of that creature back?
Possibly, yeah. It's hard to tell. You have to look sideways. Is it coming back,
Yeah.
or it's something else? I don't know. Yeah, a little bit of a flavor fail there, so we can probably.
All right.
Well, that does it for our black cards. We've got through all of the excellent black cards. I think it's looking interesting. A lot of cycling going on. I think that blue-black cycling deck's going to be some fun.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I like the -1/-1 kind of theme here too, as well, so I'm looking forward to that too.
Excellent. All right. Well, we'll catch you back here for all the red cards very shortly. Thanks for watching our Amonkhet set review for black.
See you guys.